The Emperor's New Clothes. There once lived an emperor who was very fond of new clothes. There was nothing this emperor loved more than trying on new clothes, which his servants would bring him in great stacks, morning, noon, and night. Other servants toiled endlessly to keep the emperor's vast wardrobe cleaned and pressed. The king's most learned scholars were kept constantly on hand to advise him on his choice of clothing. Any outfit the emperor might desire must be ready for him at a moment's notice. He had a different outfit for every hour of the day and every day of the week. For no matter how great or small the occasion, he wanted to wear just the right clothes to make his subjects see him as a wise and able ruler. But his outfits never seemed quite right. And his clothes were apt to turn up in the most inconvenient places. Not even his wife, nor his most trusted ministers could persuade him that he need not worry so much about his royal attire. One day, two swindlers traveled to the castle, pretending to be weavers. "We can weave the most beautiful cloth imaginable. And, what is more, clothes made from our fabrics are invisible to anyone who is either foolish or unfit for his job. Not everyone, of course, is able to wear such finery. But they are obviously the perfect clothes for a wise ruler like yourself." The emperor thought of how wisely he could rule his people if only he had such an outfit. Not only would I look grand, but with these clothes on, I could find out which of my ministers is unfit for his position. I could tell the wise from the stupid. "Take my money. This cloth must be woven for me at once." The swindlers set up their loom and worked late into the night. No one was allowed to see their work until the emperor sent his wisest and most trusted minister to see what had been made. The scoundrels begged the minister to step closer. They named all the colors and described the patterns in great detail. The minister paid close attention to all they said, for, unable to believe his own eyes, he wanted to be able to repeat it exactly to the emperor. The minister hurried back and described the new clothes to the emperor exactly as they had been described to him. "Why, you must wear them tomorrow in the royal procession. It's the perfect chance to show all of your subjects what a wise and magnificent ruler you are." The next morning, the weavers at last announced, "The new clothes are ready." They brought in the royal robes and dressed the emperor in them, taking great care to see that there were no loose threads and that the royal garments hung just right. The emperor could scarcely believe his eyes, but he kept quiet as a mouse, lest his subjects think him a fool. People came from every corner of the kingdom to see the emperor's new clothes.
Here he comes!
My new clothes must be so stunning, no one can find the right words to praise them.
But he has no clothes on.
What could the emperor possibly do now? Without any of his royal outfits to help him look intelligent or brave. The emperor realized that it was more important now than ever to act like a king. He lifted his head even higher and stood even taller and continued the procession. Never had he felt so foolish, but never had he acted so wisely. Seeing their ruler's extraordinary courage, the crowd began to cheer more loudly than the emperor had ever heard them.
Long live the king!